Hey everyone, Kyle from Cosplays from Trash. And in this video, I won't be showing so much a tutorial on how to make these, but I'll kind of be showing how I turned some trash, including some very weird things that I had lying around, into wrist guards that I made for my upcoming Bruno cosplay. They go around both wrists and they also go around both ankles. I have all four of them here, and have a quick little video about this. Bruno's been around for about 30 years since Pokemon Red and Blue came out in the 90s. There isn't much to his costume. Some pretty distinct features are the torn gi and him being shirtless and wild hair, but the only thing I really needed to make were the gauntlets because I already had other materials that were mostly done for his makeup, belt, and gi. Typically, wrist guards and gauntlets like this are made out of metal or foam, but I actually had some old kayak and an old cot because of course that I did, and of course, with all the thousands of things that I have a bunch of wire caps and screws. They do have a thread in them so the wires can kind of get up in there and stay inside junction box as well, but for me, I'm literally just putting them on here and making them look like spikes. I'll be able to put the screw through the cot and the hammock and screw them into those threads. All I really had to do, since they were red and they're going to be spikes from afar, I just had to spray paint them, set them up in my really terrible spray booth that doesn't actually have any ventilation, that probably isn't the safest or whatever. Grabbed some spray paint and gave it a couple coats. Fortunately, things take forever, so I decided to go upstairs and in between each round, go tell my rats how much I love them. Do have 3 pet rats. Apparently this is a rat video now, but we got a big yawn there. Cheerio for everyone, and then it's back to layers. I really hate using an airbrush because it takes so long to clean, but it took me like a minute and a half to actually assemble it, start mixing the paint, and get everything situated. Painting is kind of like sanding. It's not really that interesting, and you often have to do a lot of coats, but it's definitely a much better step than painting by hands often. And we're done. Once like 6 layers of painting, I did actually touch a few things up by hand. Put on my gloves because sometimes if acrylic paint hasn't dried all the way, it can actually seep through, and I really hate paint on my fingers. What's really nice about these is they do have already screw caps in them, and so actually assembling them is a pretty easy process of just getting screws that are about the same size, putting them through, and hey look, we're done. For the covering itself, look how terrible the scarf is. Like, this needs to be cut up and made into new things. It was pretty easy to totally not measure and just do everything by hand, start poking holes in things, and eventually draping this really ugly scarf over the screws and the caps. A little bit of hot glue does go a long way, and I realized I could make all this in like 45 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. You can see kind of from a little bit far away, you won't be able to tell that they're actually electrical caps. As I said, this isn't so much a tutorial, and I will try to create a few other types of tutorials that are more follow along friendly, but this just kind of shows that you can really turn pretty much anything you have lying around into cosplays that you want. They actually look pretty good.